So I wanted to do a little bit of a different video. I wanted to talk a little bit about why I respect atheists as a believer in Jesus Christ. Now, there's some people who will disagree with that. They'll say, you can't respect atheists and then also believe in Jesus Christ. But I don't think that's true at all. You can respect everyone, you know, you can respect everyone despite what they believe. And I think that it's important to be able to do that. In my experience, I found that atheists, for them, because I used to have an atheist friend, and I asked her once, I said to her, let's say that God does exist, right? Just entertain me. When you pass away, when your time on earth comes to an end, what would you say if you saw God? And she said very firmly to me, I'd say I want to have nothing to do with you. And that was her response. And I really respected her so much for her response because she made it very clear where she was positioned. And she respected my beliefs. She respected that I believed in Jesus. And she never tried to push anything down my throat. Of course, there were times where she would she would talk about, the origins of Christianity, and she had, some beliefs, historical beliefs about that, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine, because that does show that at least she's explored the concept of Jesus. All right, and regardless if she accepts him or not, the fact is that she knows of him. I kind of find it really strange with Gen Z, though. I gotta admit, Gen Z, it, it kind of creeps me out a little bit. It creeps me out a bit, and I'll tell you why. The atheist, they they know of God, they know of Jesus Christ, and they accept, and they may not, they choose to be atheists. Gen Z, they're strange. They're really, really strange. There's something missing from Gen Z. While there's some Gen Zers who do believe in Jesus, a lot of a lot of Gen Zers, it's like they're not they're not atheists, but it's just really strange. It's like they just don't. It's not even like an outright rejection, where an atheist person, you can have a conversation with an atheist person, and they'll talk to you and they'll explain their beliefs to you. And Gen Z, they're just about getting their bag. Like, it's literally, they have no time. They have no time for talks, for discussion of God. It's just like a blank thing. It's like they don't care one way or another. And it's like it's frightening. It's kind of frightening for me when I think about it, because I respect, I respect atheists, I respect agnostics, but Gen Z, it's like this slate of emptiness, and it's all they care about is money. And it's very, very, it's really, really odd. I have to admit, and people like to, they'll start to blame other generations. Well, who raised Gen Z? But it's, like, we talk about the story of Queen Jezebel. And Queen Jezebel, she worshipped other gods, foreign gods, and she really doubled down on that. And then there's Gen Z, where they just, it's basically just money for them. That's the closest thing to a god for these people. The closest thing to God, to a god for Gen Z, is money. And it's kind of strange when you have a group of people that they just don't know God. It's like, not only do they not know God, and they do not want to have a relationship with God, it's different than the atheists who have said that, made a choice. Gen Z, it's, guys, they're just about getting their money. It's like, and it's not like a rejection. It's not like, it's strange. I don't know if you, like, I'm trying to find the words to explain it. it's not the same kind of rejection of God. I feel like it's not the same kind of rejection with atheists, where atheists will explain to you that they are making a conscious decision to reject God. Gen Z just does not give they don't care. Like, they don't care either way. All right. Like, if you're like, do you like, there's a God out there that has nothing. That's basically, it has nothing to do with them. So, are you saying that you don't believe in God? No. Are you saying that you do believe in God? No. So, are you an agnostic? You don't know if there's a God or not. No. So, what are you? I'm trying to get my money. I'm trying to get my bag. Guys, there's something wrong. Like, I keep telling you, there's something wrong with these kids. There's something wrong with these kids. These kids are not right. These kids, there's something off with these kids. You know, it's like, it's one thing when you know where a person stands, but when you're dealing with a group of people like Gen Z, you just never know. They're just such a strange group of people. And then you look at how fast, they're passing away faster than all previous generations, right? They're passing away faster. Specifically, Gen Z women are passing away faster than women born in 1928. And the only reason why it's not more prior to that is because that's the only data that's available. They don't have data for women born before 1928. It's crazy. It's crazy, which suggests that, and they have higher mortality rates during childbirth than women born in 1928. They have higher general mortality rates for almost everything than women born in 1928, almost 100 years ago. It's crazy. And it's like, you look at the lifestyle, you look at the godlessness, and it's not even a rejection of God. It's just it's a complete, not even ignorance. I don't know. I'm trying to look for the word. It's like on tip of my tongue almost. You know, it's like they're just not here. They're in a completely different universe and a completely different reality or world. They just don't care. The only thing they care about is money. The only thing they care about is consumerism and feeding a hole inside of them. And it's crazy because I understand the situation right now where people are struggling, people can't afford things, but a lot of Gen Zers are not doing as bad as they're making it out to be, as people are making it out to believe. They're just starting out life. Many of these people, they can choose not to go to college and not incur student loan debt, and instead, and a lot of them are now waking up and realizing, hey, I'm just going to go to trade school instead. So they have that, right? Many of them are still living with their parents. Gen X are good parents. When I was growing up, it was like miserable. No TV, no video games, no like it's like my parents were heavily Christian. Only read the books that we would allow you to read. It was a nightmare. My childhood was terrible. It could have been, there are people who had much worse than I did. But a lot of people know what I'm talking about when you grow up with this group of the boomers, you know, especially the older boomers. They're just bad. It was really hard. We got by. We got by. I'll be 41 soon, and I'm a Zennial, and I survived. But I look at Gen Z, and I'm just flabbergasted with these people. There's something wrong with them, and I've said it plenty of times. I've said it a lot since I started my channel. I've said it. There's something wrong with Gen Z. There's something that's not right with them. It's like one of those movies, and you can already, at this point, everyone knows something's wrong with Gen Alpha. Like, we already knew after the events of 2020, they're far gone. You don't need to really label it to say, like, yeah, these people, they grow up in single mother households. They have extremely low literacy rates. They're going to be a prison population. We already know what's wrong with them. We can quantify what's wrong with Gen Alpha. We have prisons for that. But Gen Z, they're just a mixed bag, bro. They're 100% mixed bag. They're a strange, strange group of people. They're just starting out life, and My gosh. It's like, yeah, you're not going to be able to buy a house, but the fact is you're young and you have the opportunity to make money and figure it out. And you're still living at home, most of you, so you can learn from the millennials and see the pitfalls, and understand that the world doesn't owe you anything. And these people were raised by Gen X, so it's hard for me to imagine that Gen X, the latchkey kids, went around telling their kids that the world owes you something, and you deserve this and this and this, and don't say no. Or they were all raised with participation trophies. That's BS. That's totally BS. Gen Guys, think about what Gen X is like. Gen X is the generation that's constantly forgotten about. Like, people just constantly forget about Gen X, and that's just the way they like it. And I'm not saying all Gen Xers are great people, but they're the most balanced generation. And then to have kids like Gen Z, no, come on. I want to know what your thoughts are on this. So let's talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away, and cheers.